Hit record. Um, Announcements. There's going to be a mindful yoga class for us online on Sunday at 7 p.m. So I enrolled all of you into that. So go ahead and just join from that link like you normally would with any group call. I'm gonna try to make sure that will make it easier to have her use that link. But it'll be just like a yoga class, even if you've never done yoga before. It's not going to be anything strenuous. It's a mindful yoga series, which is she focuses on nervous system support, maybe some breath work, that kind of stuff too during it. So you want to make sure that you're at home in a nice, like cozy place. If you have a yoga mat, lay that out. If you don't have one, that's fine. Sometimes like having a towel on the floor can just like help you know, like, okay, my body's going to be right here. But honestly, it's your home. So it's fine if you're like laying on your own floor, right? So, but you'll want to have areas to move. My guess is that we will be like, doing some poses and things like that. So it'll be an hour. We'll wrap up by 8 o'clock. You won't have to be on camera or talk or anything like that. You just come in and join, and then Ari is going to just lead the class for us during our time together. So it will be recorded. If you can't come live, you can always listen to it later, and then it'll be uploaded into the nervous system tools. So you can access it at any time and be able to use that. So, and then there will be another class in April, or a workshop in April that we're doing, and then another one coming up in May. So we have lots of fun stuff coming up. No problem, Michelle. And then, was there anything else? I don't think so. I'll still be here next week, but then I will be out on the 4th until I'll be back on the 14th. So Chris Ann will be here. For check-ins. Check-ins will be regular for you. Keep doing those. There just won't be any group calls that week. And I won't be accessible. So any questions can go to Chris Ann or to Audra. And if they don't know the answer, they will route that question to me for when I get back, and then I'll get back to you. That being said, feel free to message me on Practice Better when I'm gone. I don't get notifications on my phone or anything. So you can, like, if you're thinking about something, oh, I have to ask Melissa this, but I don't want to forget, just send me a message and I'll get it when I get back, and I'll reply to you when I get back. That doesn't bother me at all. I have, I preach, or I act as I preach, or I do what I preach, that I create boundaries to protect my time and my energy as well. So don't ever worry about messaging me at weird times on weekends if I'm on vacation, because I will get to it when I am in work mode. Okay. All right, let's do some food values, and then we will open it up for coaching. So what I want you to do is, this is just going to be a simple exercise, but I want to do this because it helps you build that trust that you want to have with yourself, that you do what you said you would do. We don't want to feel guilty after we decide to have a piece of pizza, after we decide to go on vacation and enjoy different kinds of foods, whatever it is. But we also want to know, what does the ideal lifestyle that I want to have, what does that look like? Because you're not living my lifestyle, even though I'm teaching you structure and things like that. This is not my lifestyle that you're building. This is not my lifestyle that you're emanating or trying to replicate, or actually anybody else in the program or out there on Instagram or social media or friends, whatever it is. It's yours. We want to build it authentically to you, because then it just makes sense. And it's so much easier for it to like click into place and to you to become that person that you want to be. It's when we're trying to replicate things and do things that other people tell us to do, or follow strict protocols or follow strict diets, that then we get very confused and we fall off the wagon, and we're just like, I just can't ever make it work. I just seem to always yo-yo, and I'm always stuck in this cycle. Well, this is one of the reasons why, is because you don't actually know what's important to you when it comes to your eating and when it comes to health and things like that. So today we're going to talk about food values, so that you can make that connection to when you're eating. But we can do this for all sorts of things, and we'll probably do that coming up when it comes to movement, when it comes to your stress, your boundaries, saying yes, saying no, things like that too. Like, if you really know what you want and what makes sense for you, it's so much easier to make those decisions and follow through and being consistent. Like when it comes to workouts, I was not a consistent person who worked out until I was, oh, I don't know, maybe like 30. And before that, I only worked out to lose weight. Like it was always a very short-term thing. Like I'm just going to do this until I get my body to where I want it to be, and then I'm going to stop. It was not part of who I was. So of course I was very inconsistent in it. And I was like, I would always try to find ways to not have to work out because I hated it so much. But now like it's who I am. It's what I do. I don't have to enjoy it in order to do it, but I know my values when it comes to moving my body. I know why I do it. I know that it's not to just look a certain way, although that's a nice short-term reward. It's to be able to move a certain way in 20 years. I know that future Melissa is really going to be very happy that Melissa, when she was 41, lifted heavy weights, because Melissa, when she's 61, is going to have healthy bones and healthy muscle, and she's going to be able to fall over and trip over her grandkids and then get back up, and it's not going to be a problem, right? So that's one of my values when it comes to like movement. But let's talk about nutrition. So get your PDF out. Now I can't find mine. And what I want you to do is to look at all those words. And I want you just to take a few moments, and whatever like kind of hits home for you when you're looking at this, I want you to circle it. And we're going to circle 10 first. And so I want this to be kind of very intuitive. Don't sit here and overthink these words. But when it comes to eating and food and nutrition, those three things, where are your values when it comes to food, eating, and nutrition? So what's the difference between those three? Let's break that down. So food is just the actual food, right? So the physicalness of food being right here. So if I had an apple, that's food. The eating, that's the actual process of bringing that food into your body. And then the nutrition, what that food does for your body, right? So what does all the information from that food actually tell your body? So the actual food, so the physical being of the food, the process of bringing it into your body, and then what that food actually does for your body. What are those values that you have with it? So I'm going to give you a minute. I'll give you more than a minute here for you to circle those. Give you 2 minutes. Shouldn't take too long. And when you, we'll wait to share answers because 10 might be a lot for you to share. Okay, so assuming you got about 10 here, we're going to move on and narrow those 10 down to 5. And I also don't want this to take too long. So I want you to really look at the words and say which ones do actually mean something to me, are my values when it comes to food, eating, and nutrition. And then go ahead and circle those top 5, or if you printed it out, you can write them down as well. Or if you circle them, cross out 5 that are not your top values. And one of the ways you can kind of decide between them is sometimes you'll notice that there's actually a pattern that many of these words mean maybe very similar things. So you don't need duplicates. Maybe one resonates with food, but the other one doesn't resonate with nutrition. Maybe one resonates with eating, but the other one doesn't resonate with food, right? So making sure that which one of these 10 meets all three of these criteria when it comes to my values. And then once you have those top 5, I would love to hear what they are. So share them in the chat, or we can do coaching on them too. If you feel like you're struggling with this or you want coaching on it, or you just want to simply talk about it, we can do that too. And you can raise your hand. Hey, Elizabeth and Denise, as you come in, we are just doing the food values challenge or challenge worksheets. So it is, if you go into the chat, there's a document in there that you can download. So basically sit down, decide which 10 first resonate with you when it comes to eating, nutrition, and food. And then from there, you narrow down and you choose 5. And then once you have that, go ahead and put it in the chat, or we can do coaching on it if you have any questions. Okay, Kayla, you chose achievement, balance, control, energy, independence, and peace. That's 6, but those stuck out to you the most. Great. I love it. Kayla, I would look at the 2 where you have control and independence, and which one feels maybe more authentic to you, because I can see how they are very much so interconnected. I can see how one would bring out the best in you, and I can see how one would bring out maybe a side of you that you don't want to actually have. And I think when I say that, you might know what I'm talking about. So we can coach on that too. Jenny, calm, ease, joy, moderation, mindfulness, and stability. Good. Jennifer, care, comfort, connection, family, and joy. Beautiful. Michelle, balance, control, family, mindfulness, and self-care. There we have another control word. I can see that we're going to do some coaching on this. Julie, health, intuition, self-care, spirituality, and energy. Amy, strength, health, moderation, peace, and stability. And Amanda, peace, joy, self-care, comfort, and confidence. Tracy, authenticity, commitment, flexibility, honesty, and responsibility. I love those. Carrie, awareness, control, forgiveness, mindfulness, self-control, or self-care. Elizabeth, balance, discipline, flexibility, confidence, and knowledge. Love it. So the other thing is, with these that I want you guys to do after this. So if you're typing it in, I want you to actually write these down or put them in a note in your phone so that you can come back and you can remember what these words are. Is that now I want you to take these words and I want you to do 5 days of journaling, 1 day for each word. And so if your word is, sorry. Okay. So Kayla, one of your first words is achievement. I want you to journal, achievement is a value around food, nutrition, and eating for me because, and this is how I know that I have achievement in these 3 things. This is what it actually looks like for me. Because sometimes we choose these words and we're like, I don't actually know what that would look like in my life. Like I want to bring that to me, but I don't actually know what that is. And it's hard to make it tangible. So right now we're making it, we're creating awareness and we're creating some resonation, but we want to also make it very tangible and doable for our brain. We have to take it from a thought to an action. So what do we need to do, or a thought or a feeling to an action? So what do you actually need to be doing in order to feel achievement around your food, your nutrition, and your eating? How do you know that you're balanced? What's the evidence that you have balance here? What's the evidence that you have control or energy, independence, or peace, right? So every single day you choose 1 word and I want you to journal on it. What does that actually mean to you? If you were to explain it to an alien coming down from Earth, well, how do we explain to this alien what achievement is? with our food, nutrition, and our eating. How do we explain what peace is to an alien coming down from Mars? So we want it in very like blatant, regular old terms. And then what are the actions that would demonstrate that we do feel this way? Because my guess is that a lot of you, this will be a very like eye opener for you, that you actually have a lot of these things going for you already, which is great and it's wonderful. And we want to celebrate that. The more we can celebrate how much closer we are to who we want to be, the more likely we're going to keep going and taking those steps instead of saying, wait, this isn't working. It's taking longer than I want. It's harder. I don't want to do this anymore. This kind of sucks. We're like, no, I'm already showing myself evidence that I'm getting there. Right. And that way we're measuring ourselves based on the feelings that we want to have with weight loss and health in our life, and not just the scale, and not just how our pants fit, and not just like those tactical measurements that are useful tools, but they don't mean everything. Because as a reminder, you may or may have not heard me say this before, is that we don't actually want weight loss. We don't actually want the scale to show us a certain number. What we really want is a feeling in our body. And we want to show ourselves what that feeling is and bring it to us, because that's what true, authentic, deep down happiness and joy and peace is. Many of you wrote peace. Many of you wrote joy. That's what it really is, right? That's that grounding feeling in your body that's what you want to have. So bring that to you, show your brain evidence that you are creating these things already. And if you're not, if you're like, I actually never feel these feelings, I never feel these thoughts, I feel very far and disconnected. I know I want it, but it feels very disconnected. Now you can start to search for those things in your day-to-day actions. So Kayla, you have achievement. Just because you haven't maybe reached the achievement goal you have for yourself yet, or the achievement you have with your food, your nutrition, and your eating yet, guess what you have achieved, on a Tuesday at 4:00 is that you pre-logged your foods for the day, you stuck to your food plan, and you got to the end of the day and you felt fantastic, right? You're showing yourself little bits at a time. You are achieving achievement. And if it's energy, and you get to the end of the day at 4:00 and you're like, wow, usually I crash at 4:00 and I actually feel like I could mop my floor today. I don't feel like I need a nap. I maybe am not bouncing off the walls. I don't have as much energy as my kids, but guess what? I feel like a human. I can connect my thoughts. I can go do something instead of sitting on the couch like a potato. Right. So now you are showing yourself like, yeah, you actually do have energy that is connected to your food, your nutrition, and your eating. Right. So you want to show yourself these things every single day. So make sure to put these words somewhere. And for the next 5 days or 5 days of journaling, I would love for you to do them in the next week. We want to keep it top of mind. If we wait longer than a week, you're never going to do it. So over the next 5 to 7 days, I want you to journal on each one of these words. What does it actually mean to you to have achievement? And how do you know that you've done it? What's the evidence? If somebody was to look at you from the outside and say, I think that she totally has achievement with food, nutrition, and eating, or if you were to have an out-of-body experience and watch yourself, what would be the things that you're doing? And what would be the things that you're doing consistently, day in and day out? Okay. Any questions on that? Pop them in the chat. If not, let's move to some coaching. So go ahead and raise your hand. I love that golden retrievers just bring in whatever they find outside and retrieve it back to you like rocks. Okay. And Denise had balance, consistency, determination, control, and self-care. I love it. So Denise, with those, definitely define them. Those of you that put control, let's talk about that for a minute. The reason why you're putting control very likely is because you feel right now like you don't have control, or you feel like you don't trust yourself. When you feel like you don't trust yourself, you feel like you yourself are out of control. You don't know what your next actions will be. And so if you use control right now, I want you to actually, when you're journaling about this, I want you to define control in only a self-loving way. Only a unconditional love way, right? Like, so control, how do we know that it's control in the most unconditional action display of love for yourself, and not deprecation and not manhandling and not holding on to a very tight grip, being very loose with this and seeing yourself from a place of unconditional love, that this is how I would know that I have control. Another way to think about it is to, like, if you were to have this conversation with your daughter, how would you want your daughter to verbalize control around food in a way that would make you feel really proud of her? Because when we have that conversation with our child, or it's easy to say daughter because it feels more like a feminine relationship. And it feels more like you because you're female. So when you have that conversation with your daughter who you love unconditionally, what would you want her to say about what she thinks control around food is? And if your answers are vastly different than what you would want your daughter to say, then I think you should find a different word. Okay. Tracy, there is if you go to the react button on the bottom and it has a little heart and you tap that, there will be a bar that says raise hand. And Kayla, yes, zero trust in myself. I just want to feel in control when I'm not just at home where things feel safe and I have all the things I need to eat healthy. Yes. So I would say, and I don't know, was the word trust on the sheet? Now that I think about it, I'm not sure. But if there's not trust, there's going to be a word that's very close to trust, or just write down trust. But I would say trust versus control, because control is very, you know, very hard and very tough and very like forceful, and we can't force ourselves into the version of us we want to be. We have to become her, and that process is kind of slow and it's kind of open, and it's allowing ourselves to, like, there's not necessarily words. Sometimes it's just like the becoming of that person, of that version of us that we want to be. And that is not on necessarily our brain's timeline. Our brain's timeline is like 5 minutes, please. I would like to do that. And it's not always that, right? And so we want to have more of like a feminine, gentle approach to this instead of like manhandling, like fighting ourselves and being very forceful with it. And that's to me what control feels like. And maybe that doesn't feel like that for you, but it, I think, is trust is what you need. I think trust is the word. Okay, Tracy, go ahead and you can click unmute and then turn your video on. There we are. Hi.
Hey,
There. Okay. All right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay. How can I
Good.
help you? What do we want coaching
Okay,
on?
I want coaching on I watched the blood sugar module and I watched another one right around that. I would like coaching. I'm going to be going off the flush and going to my first gut protocol, and I'm a little bit nervous about um the meal balancing. I know the protein, fat, fiber. I wrote down protein, starchy, carb, fiber, fat. And I
Mhm.
have the list of foods for the flush. That's helpful, but I know that
Mhm.
the foods for the flush don't always go under the same categories as in real life.
Yeah. So do you feel like do you have some confusion on what a starchy carb is?
No, not well. The starchy carbs in the flush were really hard for me because I don't really eat oats, millet, buckwheat, or barley. So it's been a lot of pasta. Actually, it's been a lot of rice. But I know like a sweet potato is a carb.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that, but I want to make sure that I keep, because I have not had hardly any cravings through this.
Mhm.
And I want to keep that up. And I just want
Okay.
to start making my meals because I'll be on my own again. And I just want just a few tips from you
Yeah.
about how I should go about that.
Okay. On how your meals should be blood sugar stable.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so I don't have the cravings.
Okay. So when you're building your meals, what I would say, so you're going to go back to MyFitnessPal. I
Hmm.
want you to go back to like pre-tracking your foods in there. And when you're tracking your foods, I want you to think, okay, where's my protein? I want you to put your protein into your meal first. And then I want you to ask yourself, where's my fiber? So this can be your vegetable. This can be like if you have a chia seed or a flax seed or something along that line. It's mostly going to be a vegetable. If it's a meal or if it's your smoothie, it's going to be, one of those two things. And then where is my fat? Now, fat sometimes it's kind of sneaky because you're cooking with fat.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're adding it to your smoothie. Sometimes it's already like in meat. So if you're having like a steak, usually steak has a decent amount of fat in it, if it's a fattier piece anyway. You don't necessarily have to add fat if your protein has a decent amount of fat in there already.
Okay.
Um, and then you add in your starchy carbohydrate. So a starchy carbohydrate is anything that will raise your blood sugar. Now, I don't expect you to know every single thing that will raise your blood sugar, but that's how we define what a starchy carbohydrate is. Because vegetables and fiber actually are carbohydrates. They're just not starchy.
Can you say that again?
Vegetables and fiber, they are carbohydrates. They're
Vegetable.
just not they're just not starchy. They're just not going to raise your blood sugar. Right? So broccoli is a carbohydrate, but it's a non-starchy carbohydrate.
Oh, that's so weird.
Did I just confuse you? I'm sorry.
You will raise your blood sugar.
Yeah. So these are things that have a classic, connections to carbohydrates. So potatoes, sweet potatoes, fruit is a starchy carbohydrate because it has sugars in it. Any food that has sugars in it is going to be classified as a starchy carbohydrate. Pasta, rice, oats. What else? Those are the main ones.
Okay.
So when you're logging your food in MyFitnessPal, like let's say you have a smoothie in the morning, you're going to add your protein powder. That's your protein. You're going to add your fiber with your chia seed or your flax seed. You're going to add another fiber with some greens. And then you're going to add some fat with maybe some avocado. And then you're going to add your starchy carbohydrate with some berries. Okay. And then let's say you're putting your lunch in. Okay. Your protein, maybe some chicken. Your fiber, maybe some cauliflower rice. Your fat, you cooked your chicken in oil. And then your starchy carbohydrate, maybe you add some regular rice to your cauliflower rice.
Okay. And I don't have to have a starchy carbohydrate at every meal, right?
No.
But I have to have protein, fiber, and fat.
Well, I don't want to say like should, but likely you will.
Okay.
Okay. In order for you to kind of get to those macronutrient goals, you're going to probably have a protein at every meal.
Okay. I was watching I don't remember if it was a coaching call or what it was, but you had talked about that chat GPT.
Oh, yeah.
I knew nothing about that. So I went in and I
Mhm.
just put what you have for my gut protocol. I just put the macros in
Yeah.
and told them what I like: no eggs, no dairy, no gluten. I was astonished. That is
That it would have
when
what it
you
built for you.
just, yes, I
Yeah.
did not know that. So that is
Yes.
nice when you just need somebody to tell you what to eat.
Yeah. I actually I need to work on a custom GPT for you guys. So basically I'm going to create a chat GPT specific for my program. So basically
Yeah.
I tell it the rules. I don't like rules, but I tell it the guidelines.
Yeah.
This is what my clients are doing. This is what they're focusing on. Don't let them, or don't give them gluten. Don't give them dairy. Like if you're on the flush, these are the foods they should eat when they're on the flush. This is how many calories I want them to eat per day. This is how much protein I want them to have per day. And then you get to go in and say, hey, Chat GPT, I'm in Mindfully Well. I shouldn't even tell you guys this because it's not ready. um, I'm in Mindfully Well, and I have this in my refrigerator. Tell me what I should make.
Yeah,
And yeah, so.
it was great. Okay, the other thing, thank you for your help on that. I'll go down that list when I'm doing it. The other thing, um, I I understand, Chris Ann helped me understand this, but I need just a little bit more. The backloading.
Mhm.
She made me realize that I'm probably not backloading because I'm scared I'm going to be hungry. I'm
Mhm.
probably backloading because I may want something later in the day and I want to make sure I have the macros for it. I've
Mhm.
realized through the flush that I am not hungry in in the evenings. I'm not hungry ever on this, but
Yeah.
Um, what are some tips? I did listen to something just a little while ago too about how making the breakfast bigger and making the lunch bigger, you won't be as hungry for the stuff in the evening. But is there anything else you can tell me? Because I know myself and I know that I just don't want to fall back into that.
Okay. So I'm not going to tell you to do a specific thing because the real reason why you're doing it is something underlying in your
Mhm.
mind emotional connection, right? So fearful that you might be hungry. Is that what Chris Ann said? Is that what you're?
Well, she said, "Are you sure? Why are you doing that? Do you think you're doing
Yeah.
that because you're scared you're going to be hungry later in the day, or you're going to want something in the later
Hmm.
in the day that
Yeah.
and you want to make sure you have reserved macros?" And it just
Yeah.
put a light bulb on in my head because I said, if I'm actually genuinely hungry at the end of the day and I've stayed within my macros, that's a conversation for you and I to have.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing it because I may want to have popcorn at at
Hmm.
later in the day, then I want to make sure
Yeah.
I have enough carbs for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I
So
just wondered if there was anything.
what you really want here is you want the freedom in the moment to choose,
Yeah.
right? And here's the thing is that you will get there, but you're not there right now. Right now, we need you to decide ahead of time what you're going to eat, make it fit and make it make sense so that you can get on the track of reaching your goals. What we need to do first is build trust,
Sure. Okay.
right? Build trust with yourself that you know what's best for yourself and that you follow through.
And this
And
is where it comes. Sorry.
and then when you do that over and over and over again, now you do build that trust with yourself. But right now, you don't quite trust yourself. So, what you want to do is you want to leave room open for the end of the day to be able to make that decision later so that you don't feel bad for making that
Yeah.
decision. Right. Because the
Right.
truth is, it's like if you love to have popcorn in the evenings, put it in your tracker.
Right.
Right. You can do that. There's no rule saying that you can't do that. I have popcorn in the evenings sometimes, just
Yeah.
put it in there. Um, but let's say like you're worried that like you're gonna get to like today's Wednesday, you didn't put any popcorn in there and it's gonna be 7 p.m. and they're like, I want popcorn though. What do I do? Well, right
You don't
now,
need
just
it.
don't have it. You just say, wow, I would like to have popcorn, but I didn't put it in my plan. I'm also not hungry, right? So I would be eating for emotional reasons and not for reasons that I really want to be consuming popcorn. But I know that, popcorn sounds like something I want to have. So I'm going to plan it for tomorrow. And I'm going to put it in my journal for tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm going to enjoy it, being very confident that I have done what I said I was going to do. I was going to have the popcorn because I purposely put it in here. It made sense for me and I wanted to enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, that's where this authenticity thing for this food values that we just did. I want to put things in my journal that I'm going to eat for the rest of my life or in my fitness pal. I don't want to overindulge, but I don't want to cut anything out that I know I really will want at some point.
Hmm.
So if I can stay authentic to that, then
Yeah.
it's just about planning and putting it in and making sure that the rest of your day balances that out.
Yes. Yes. Right now, that's what that is, right?
Yeah.
But that
Okay.
doesn't
Okay.
necessarily mean that, in a year you're still doing that because the goal is that in a year you've like got your back on your decisions
Okay. All right.
and
Thank
that
you.
you've like kind of become the woman that can like alter her plan and have her back. That can
Yeah.
decide, oh, tonight at 7 p.m., I'm having popcorn. And even though I didn't track it, and you maybe won't be tracking anymore at that point either, but it's a decision that you love and you don't have to have it because you're emotionally out of control. And you don't have to end up after the popcorn to feel guilty or remorseful.
Right. And then you'll tell us when I'm at that point and I can do that, right?
Well, I won't even, guess what? I won't have to tell you because you will
Okay.
know that you're at that point.
Okay.
You will know that you've got your back.
Got it.
Right? Because I can't like you can see and feel that for future version of yourself. I can't. Right? Like
True.
I can't see like I know intellectually and I can help you find her, but it meets you. You're the one who feels it.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
And also don't be afraid of your feelings. You're afraid of feeling hungry in the evenings, or you're afraid of having FOMO around popcorn, no popcorn, right? Those are just feelings. They're just communication in your body. You don't have to worry about that they hurt you or they're harmful. They're just communication. And they can just be there.
Okay. Okay, and then I did send you a message about, I didn't know if you had a supplement guide for the Candida gut protocol, like you do for some of the others. If you do, I would take that. You know, where you tell us, I can write it out too, but I thought
like a
if,
check, like checking on up.
well, not, that would be great too, but just to try to get ready for it, because I put them in little packs, so then I know when I'm taking what. That's what I did for the flush, and it helped me a lot. So I just threw like the lunch one, I threw that in my lunch bag.
Oh, you can print out the protocol. Did you
Oh,
see that?
well, is that, and that will be in there? It'll
Yeah,
tell me
if you
what,
go to your protocol,
okay.
um, okay, go to protocol and then the one that says phase 3, you can hit preview and then you can hit download or print from there.
Okay, and that, but I didn't see that supplement. Like in the flush, you have
Mhm.
the resources, and there was that flush PDF that you
Oh,
could
the PDF.
print. But
Yes,
I'm
no, I
just
don't
looking
have
for,
that. I don't have that for this, but if you just print this out, it shows you exactly when you're taking them.
okay,
So
all right.
if you scroll all the way down, there's a supplement chart and it will say like, I can show you what it looks like. So like then you scroll down here, see it says supplement chart.
Yeah, I couldn't find that.
Um, so go, like you should be able to see
Yep, right
protocol
there.
and
Yep,
then hit preview.
okay.
And then there will be a download button, I
Oh,
think,
you have
for
to do
you.
the download.
Yeah. Yeah. So hit download. And then
It'll be on the bottom.
um there we go.
Perfect. Okay,
Okay.
that's all. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Who else wants coaching? Anybody? No one? Everyone's doing great. Life is wonderful. Okay, Amanda. Oh,
You
you're
hear me?
still muted.
Oh,
There
there
we
we
go.
go. Okay. So I was just wondering, so quick questions about, I started the Estro Balance and
Mhm.
the Mito Recharge. Okay. So I have it in my protocol to take 2 of each of those like at breakfast and then 1 Mito Recharge at lunch.
Okay.
And so I guess my question, can I take all 4 of those at this, like at the breakfast ones? Can I do those all at once? I don't need to like,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
And then is it at breakfast, is it more like I need to take with food, or I just need to take it consistently at kind of the same time every day? Or
So I would take it with food, just because Mito Recharge has lots of minerals in it, and that can kind of upset
okay,
your stomach.
okay,
So I would take them with food. It's not gonna affect it if it's with or without food. Like that doesn't
okay,
matter, but I would probably
okay,
just so your tummy doesn't get upset.
okay. And then for the workouts,
Mhm.
um I was doing 5 days a week, we talked about, and you said to go down to 3 to 4 strength training. And
Mhm.
so I was just wondering, because I talked to on the with Chris Ann, um, I had said, do I need to like take my break day, go 2 days and then take a break and then go 2 days and then take a
Mhm.
break or however? And she said not necessarily, other than just do like lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, like kind of,
Yeah.
that. And
Mhm.
so what I'm wondering is, because I do Dirk's workouts and he
Yep.
does like lower body on Mondays, but then like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he does all upper body. And then Friday he does like total body. So I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
if I should
Okay.
like try and get a lower body in there somewhere else, or, because I try and do the lives so I can stay. So,
You do lives. Okay.
yeah, well, I mean, I can do, I can sometimes like today I did the whatever, not live, the recording one, but I try to do the
Mhm.
lives just so I get it done, but
Okay. So I would do, so yeah, Monday do the lower,
mhm.
Friday do the full. And then, I'm trying to
I know.
think.
And honestly, I can kind of mix it up at some point, but I prepaid until like December. So I don't want to like
Yeah.
quit doing it because I prepaid. But at that
No,
point,
that's
if I
fair.
need to do something different, I can. But
On Tuesdays, Megan does a full body, right?
I think so.
You could do that.
Okay.
Do you mind her workouts or?
No,
Okay.
no, no.
Um,
So okay. So just
so
do a
you
full
could
body.
do,
Okay.
yeah, so you could do Monday lower.
Okay.
Oh, wait, well, then we're kind of missing.
And I could do a recording, I guess, on instead of one of his lives, I could do one of her recordings or something like later, like on Wednesday. Wednesday she does leg day. I guess I could do that maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I
So
can
you
just
could
play with that
do,
though, I guess.
yeah, you could do lower body Monday and then Tuesday, what does he do for upper body?
Back and biceps.
Back and biceps. So
Yeah.
then,
So that he like separates it, back and biceps, and then he does like chest and triceps today, and then shoulders and abs Thursday. So it's like, oh, that's a lot of upper. I
yeah.
could, but I guess I could maybe do two of his at one time on a day, and then hers. That could work. Okay. I just didn't
Um,
know. Or try and get some legs in with his, maybe.
let me think. I would, I don't know, there's no right answer.
Okay. And that's fine. I'm just trying in my head trying to figure out, but I can figure out something too.
You could do like Monday lower body, Tuesday do Megan's full body, but I would
Hmm.
just like watch the cardio part of it. You
Okay.
don't need to do like hit type of workouts. You don't need to
Okay.
do that kind of stuff. Um,
Okay.
just focus on lifting, and then on Thursday you could do shoulders, and then Friday you could do full body, something
Okay.
like that. But
Okay.
also there's not one great answer, so that also means that there's not a terrible answer either.
Sure.
So
Okay. Okay. So just kind of play with it. Okay.
yeah.
That was it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Jenny.
Hi, am I
Hi,
unmuted?
yeah.
Yes, I am. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
How are
Okay,
ya?
so I'm okay. I'm doing pretty okay. So I've been talking with Chris Ann a lot about like this drama in my head that I have around tracking food, and I'm wondering if I could just bring it up since we're
Yeah.
talking about food.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I am like, I love to sit down at night, like in the evening and plan my day the next day. And when I do that, I really like to write down like, I'm gonna have my smoothie for breakfast. This is what I'm gonna have for lunch. This is what we're gonna have for dinner and stuff like that. So I like know what I'm going to eat. But for some
Mhm.
reason, when I even get emotional talking about it, it's so weird. When I put it in like my fitness pal and then like I go over my calories or like I'm still hungry and I like want to eat a snack, but I'm like, if I do that, then I'm over 1700 calories. Like it just throws me into like this crazy tailspin. And so I feel like I don't know if I should track or if it's just something that I need
Mhm.
to just like when I want that cookie at night, it's like, no, it's not in your MyFitnessPal. Like you say, like feel the emotions, like let it go, put it in there tomorrow. I don't know. I just feel like I'm in this crazy spot where I can't eat any less and I don't feel like I can lose weight if I like have to. And it's just like driving me crazy. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you feel like you don't have any control, and that MyFitnessPal has all the control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you
Probably.
feel
Mm-hmm.
stuck also.
Yeah, I feel like I can not get MyFitnessPal right, like right. I cannot like eat my calories exactly right all the time without going over a little bit or being hungry. And like I know you and I have talked about this, like Jenny, it's okay to go 100 calories over your thing. I don't know why it's just I there's something there, and I think it's like wrapped up in like feeling guilty if I eat sweets, or like feeling guilty
Mhm.
if I eat a peanut butter cup that's not in my MyFitnessPal, and not knowing if I need to just like, it's like, what's wrong with me? Like, I do so many things right, but I cannot get control in that area or something.
Okay. Um, so what's, I mean, okay, did you do your values?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you put down?
Okay. I think I did them wrong the first time I did like my personal values, but this is like food values, right?
Yeah, so food, like the actual physical food,
Okay.
eating, the process of eating, and then
Mhm.
nutrition. So what the food does for our body.
Okay. So my values for that is like calm, peace, ease. Like to me, that's all really like that.
Okay.
Stability. And what I'm trying to say there is like, maybe that's control too. Like I like the routine of knowing what I'm going to eat and not feeling like I'm going to a restaurant and I have no idea what's going to be like. You know what I mean? I don't like that tailspin. Do you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
knowing what's going to come and what I'm going to feed my
Mhm.
family. I don't like getting to 5 o'clock and being like, what's for dinner? Like I hate that. Okay. And then joy, like I just want to feel like joy, like happy, moderation, and like mindfulness. Like I want to enjoy my food with my family and not be freaking out about it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how do you want to feel different in your body than you do right now?
Okay.
You can use that value list if you want, or if you have any other words.
I think I want to feel like physically, you mean? Like, okay. I think I just want to feel a little less like, it's so like hard for me to talk about. I feel like I just want to feel a little bit less bloated in my midsection, just a little bit less, and just like a
Okay.
little bit, I don't know. Yeah, just a little bit less bloated in that area, like a little less, I don't know. I think that, yeah.
And how do we know that you're less bloated?
I can just feel it. Like, you know, when you like see yourself in your jeans, or you just can tell, you know what I mean? I don't know if anyone else like that. You just know, like when you put your clothes on, or when you just feel in your body, you can feel it.
Okay. And why do you want that feeling?
I have no idea, because I just want to be like, I don't know. I just want to be somebody who's like fit and healthy like that.
Okay. So be someone who doesn't have bloat and fit and healthy. So let's also talk about what bloat means to you, because bloat can be, the true bloat is like when your stomach extends and it feels like a hard balloon, feels like a balloon that's like puffed out to the most, right? Like that it can do. And then, so that is true bloat. So that would be like a gut issue. Or is it soft and squishy and like body fat?
Yeah, like I think it's soft, squishy body fat. Like I don't
Okay.
feel like
Mhm.
bloated. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They have different like
Yeah.
causes, right? So we
Okay.
want to know what we actually need to do here. Okay, so you want somebody who has a smaller belly area and
Mhm.
her pants fit and feel good, and you just feel, I'm just going to use the word tighter.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you? Okay.
Yes.
Because if you're
Like,
tighter, what does that mean?
it's like, it means like I can wear what I want and be in pictures and not worry about what I look like.
Okay. I don't
And
have
I
to
think,
worry
yeah, I
about what
can
I look
just
like.
like, yeah, I can just, yeah, for sure. It
Okay.
seems weird when you say it out loud. It seems so petty, but yeah, I would love to just like put stuff on and be like, I look good. I feel good. Take my
Yeah.
picture. Like, I don't care, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry that this sounds weird, because everyone is thinking this. Everyone on
Okay.
this call is like, I know exactly what she's talking
Oh,
about.
okay, good.
Okay. So you don't want to worry about what you look like, and you want to put the clothes on and feel at ease.
Mhm.
And what are you worried about what you look like when you don't have that tight feeling?
Oh my gosh. What am I worried that I look like? I don't know. Like the word like fat comes to mind or something like that. Yeah,
Just
like
say it. It's okay. No one's judging you. Just
yeah,
say the
like
words.
okay, I'm worried that I look heavy, and I
Okay.
want to look. Yeah.
Okay. And when you are worried that you feel fat or heavier,
Mhm.
what else is coming along with that?
Um Jeepers. Like just feeling kind of like not good enough or like kind of failure or like, like
Mhm.
why can't you like what is wrong with you? I don't know. Like what are you doing to be that way or like
Yeah.
kind of guilty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you've done something wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you're judging yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you know that you're the only one judging yourself,
probably.
right? And also, so then we want to ask ourselves, is that true? That you're a failure, that you're not good enough, that you've done something wrong?
No, I don't think that's true about myself. I just have this like lingering thing that with my nutrition I could do better, but like I
Okay.
can't get there or something. Like I know it could be better, but like it's like I'm not willing to give something up or like I don't know. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
don't think I'm like a total failure when I break it down with you like that, but I do think there's some things I could do that could be better. And then there's
Okay.
other parts of me that are like, or maybe you're just trying to be too perfect or something too. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So if you were to look at your day yesterday, what would you want to be better?
Um, I don't know. Like I put I put like a drizzle of barbecue and sauce and like ranch over like just about everything, I guess I don't know if that matters. I don't know. I always want to have a dessert after dinner, like whether it's
Okay.
like a fudge pop thing. You can buy those fudge pops that are like 100 calories at Costco,
Mhm.
or like a peanut butter cup. Like I always have something small like that. And so
Mhm.
like I think I normal like a lot of days I do pretty good,
Mhm.
especially when I'm
Okay.
at home. It's just kind of like if we go out and maybe I'm feeling this too, like we had spring break and we went away for the weekend. And so like, we eat at restaurants and I try to do good, but you always don't do like I always don't do as good then.
Mhm.
So maybe that's part of it too. So yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to barbecue and ranch, like
Mhm.
drizzling that on your foods, why do you do that?
'Cause I like how it tastes.
Okay. Is that something that you want to go away? Do you want to be somebody who doesn't have barbecue or ranch on her foods?
Like, see, I don't think so, not
Yeah.
really. Yeah,
I mean, that's not a big deal. That's okay. You can have
okay,
that.
okay,
Nothing has gone wrong because you want that on your foods.
yeah.
Sweets after dinner. Why do you
Mhm.
think that you want to change that? Why do you think that that is something that is harming you or hurting you from reaching your goals?
I think what it is when I log, I can do really good with my foods and stuff, but when I add that in, it's like puts me over. It, like, puts
Okay.
me over calories, and things like that, and I know
Okay.
that it's an area that, I don't have, like, the best control over. Like it's super weird. Like I like to eat healthy. I love to move and like do all these things. But when it comes to
Mhm.
sweets, I don't feel like I have as much like, do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to
Mhm.
be somebody who's like eating a sleeve of Oreos, which I don't do that. But do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be somebody who's like that, you know? Like I want to
You
be able
don't
to enjoy it in moderation, but not
you
have
don't want to
like
Okay, so like what is moderation? Let's define that.
I don't know if I know. Like for me right
Mhm.
now, it's like I have one of those little peanut butter cups after lunch, and I have one after dinner, and then I have a fudge pop thing too.
Okay.
So like for me, that feels pretty good because like I'm having something, but I'm not like, going crazy with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I mean that those patterns are actually very normal. They're what I would call normal eating.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
do you want to, if I told you that's normal eating and you were to be like, start thinking like, there's actually maybe nothing wrong with this,
Yeah.
would you want to still take it out? Is that moderation to you?
Yeah. Like to me, that's moderation. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then why do you think you need to change that? Because it's not working in my fitness.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's that. And I think it's just like the days that I have, which are like few and far, like maybe on a Saturday, I'll have like, like we went out last week and I had like a crumble cookie and I didn't feel very proud about that because I know there's like a
Mhm.
million calories in those things, but I like wanted that damn cookie and then I started eating it and then I couldn't. And so like on my everyday life, I see that moderation. I think I do feel a lot of guilt when I get out of that sometimes and I'll like
Mhm.
have like a sweet binge. That makes like for me, I don't know if maybe that's normal to do that once a week.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you felt bad after that crumble cookie. Why?
Okay. because I know it's like just ruined the whole day of like eating well and moving. Like,
Mhm.
I just feel like it just, yeah, it ruins the whole day. Like, you do so good all day,
Yeah.
and then you eat that
Yeah.
cookie, and it's like, well, what the F?
Yeah.
Like, what?
And do you feel that way with the peanut butter cups after your
No,
breakfast or not your lunch and your dinner and the fudge pop at night? You don't
no,
feel like you ruined the whole day?
I don't think
Yeah.
so. But
Okay.
if I put it in my fitness pal and it would put me 100 calories over, I would feel weird about it. Like, I shouldn't.
Okay. Let's
Mhm.
leave that out for this
Okay.
exercise.
Okay.
So notice like the difference between those two,
Yeah.
right? It is a big difference between a whole crumble cookie
Mhm.
and what you're doing day in and day out, which is just true moderation, quote unquote, normal eating for you,
Okay.
right? It's the when you go and you have the crumble cookie that then you felt very guilty and
Mhm.
remorseful and had more shame attached to it because then you can see that that's actually not in congruence with what you believe is moderation to you. That's not the value that you have with your food, your eating, and your nutrition.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So when I lay it out like that, does that make sense for you? Does that help you brain connect on what you actually want when it comes to sweets and what you
Yeah.
don't want?
Yes, I can
Okay.
totally see it. And I think I have a fear that I won't lose like weight doing what I'm doing right now.
The moderation day in and day out.
Mhm.
Okay. So one thing is I want to say is like you totally can because if you want to have those things, put them in your MyFitnessPal ahead of time and then just eat less of the other stuff.
Okay.
Like that's my permission. If you have to exchange a fudge pop for some broccoli, do that.
Mhm. Okay.
Right? If that makes your brain feel better about it, that's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing is, let me look at your protocol and see where you're at.
I think I'm getting close to 12 weeks.
Okay. The other thing is, you can lose weight eating the chocolates and the fudge pop at night.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want you to think that those are the things that are holding you back,
Okay.
because it's never just one thing, right? Let me pull up. Where are we at here? Okay. So the other thing is how close do you feel like you're getting to these? So you feel like it's easy for you to go over on those calories?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine with me. I would rather you go over right now.
Okay.
Like, what if I told you that you're actually setting yourself up for a better fat loss phase?
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you're going over, but you're not gaining weight. You're just not losing.
Right.
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly where I want you to be.
Okay.
So I want you to take that as like some comfort that you can eat more. You can listen to your body. If you're actually hungry, I want you to eat. If you're
Mhm.
not gaining weight and like you're staying at status quo, that's actually a wonderful sign that your body is adapting to what we're doing and your metabolism is raising. And even if that includes your peanut butter cups and your fudge pops or whatever, like that's fine.
Okay.
So I'm actually just going to raise your nutrition amounts because
Mhm.
that will make your brain feel better.
Okay. So I
Right.
should keep tracking. Okay. Okay.
Well, you just brought that up. Do you want to stop tracking?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I need to because it helps you have the data you need to help me. Um, and I, right? And
I
like
mean, yeah, that's true. But also, I'm not helping you if you are driving yourself crazy over the MyFitnessPal. I'm not helping you then, right?
Yeah.
Then we're causing more problems than we are solutions.
Mhm.
So we can totally stop tracking and do more mindful eating
Mhm.
instead, like just mindful eating and not actually tracking your food. Does it make some things a little bit harder? It does, but it sounds like things feel really hard right now.
Mhm.
So it's like choosing the lesser of two evils for you.
Right. Okay. Is it okay if I think about it for a minute? I'm just
Yeah.
not sure like what I should do. I mean, I feel like I should track, but sometimes it does when I know I go over, I just am like,
Mhm.
you suck at this.
So what if here's an option is that it is true that if we just track a couple times a week
Mm,
that you have just so much more awareness on when you're not tracking on
Yeah.
the day. So let's say you tracked on Mondays and Thursdays, you
Mhm.
have a lot better awareness on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Friday, Saturday and Sunday, because you tracked on those 2 days. Your brain is like, okay, this is my structure. This is what I know what I'm
Mhm.
doing. And it makes me feel like I've got it. And
Mhm.
then on the other days you're not tracking, you're going to make better choices. It's going to do that kind of thing. But what I will say is that when you're not tracking your foods, I still want you to think about it ahead of time,
Yes.
and which it sounds like you do anyway. I
Mhm.
still want you to think about it and then follow through. And I want you to like purposely write out, I'm going to have peanut butter
Mhm.
cup after lunch, after dinner, and then before bed, I want this fudge pop.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be good. And then is there like, I mean, what do you do? Like, do you give yourself permission to just like if you go somewhere for a weekend and you like, you know what I mean? Like, do you not just like eat whatever you want, but if it's not perfect, like maybe I just need to let go of like whatever. Just on Monday, you just start doing your habits again and quit like freaking out, or I don't know.
So when you mean like when you're on vacation, what do you do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
don't track on vacation or when
Yeah.
you're away.
Okay.
Did you?
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
No,
Yeah.
because when you're away, you're on vacation. It's one thing if you're somebody who travels for work all the time, because then
Right.
you have that's different. But if you're on
Mhm.
vacation, no tracking, because vacation is a vacation from your day-to-day life. And that includes like the monotonous things. And vacation usually includes different values with your foods, right? It maybe includes more interesting things. It maybe includes more fun or more spontaneous actions. And so you don't need to track your foods at all. You can, most people aren't going to lose weight on vacation anyway. So there's
Mhm.
no purpose on trying to, because you're going to come back with a bunch of water, foods that you're not eating regularly. You're going to add inflammation and that kind of thing. So no need to track your foods. And then when you get back, just as soon as you can, I mean, as soon as those, if you're on an airplane, as soon as those wheels hit the runway, you're back into your normal
Mhm.
stuff. You got your grocery order in, you know when you're going to meal prep, all
Mhm.
of that.
Okay.
Don't wait until everything is perfect to start. You start as soon as you're home.
Okay. I do that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. I feel
Yes.
better. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. So we'll plan on 2 days of tracking, not
Okay.
tracking the rest of the time. I'm going to update your macros. You'll send that, or you'll see that, and then we'll see how that goes for you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, you're welcome. All right, guys. We got some chats here. Yes, everyone resonates with what Jenny was saying. So great. Okay, guys, I will see you all on Sunday for yoga. Bye-bye.